Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all acknowledgement, honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Haracha HaKodash, who giveth us forth his servant strength and power to move mountains, and who will deliver us, Lord willing, from the hour of temptation. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that have taught us his truth. And shalom unto you, hopeful, sincere, elect members, and 1/3 of you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and Seminole Indians that truly believe that Yahweh is, and that Yahushai is the deliverer and will deliver you. Shalom unto you. It's the brother Ibaja from the Los Angeles GMS camp, and we're currently teaching in the San Fernando Valley. The specific location that you will come out at our little sanctuary is Ventura. And Lord willing, this lesson is edifying unto you, hopeful elect members, and those that are seeking answers. So here we go. We're going to go into how the Lord is putting the spirit on the king of the Medes to reunite the Soviet Union. All right, the scriptures talk about the Lord is going to put the hook in their jaw. Right? Meaning the Lord is going to reel them back to that USSR spirit. That spirit of war and hatred for America. All right? And right now, Russia is reclaiming and going around strengthening its alliance. All right? We're witnessing it. Because this Kazakhstan is having conflict, and I really believe that America is doing that to try to off course Russia's objective of reuniting Ukraine, which was a original member of the USSR. All right, the Soviet Union. All right, and America was so scared of Russia that they created NATO and the EU. All right, they created an alliance to go against the Soviet Union. All right, and as you can see, speaking as a man, I believe that the situation with Kazakhstan is a quarrel orchestrated, but it will actually build ties with these nations. All right? And if Russia goes into Kazakhstan and they strengthen each other, they make new pledges. They become more strengthened in their alliance. If their objective is towards Russia, look how big that is. If they unite, they could easily overtake Ukraine. And then speaking as a man, Russia will come to an agreement with Ukraine because Ukraine was originally a member. And in Ezekiel, the scriptures talk about, I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaw, and I will bring thee forth and with all thine army. So if the Lord is going to turn back that same USSR, the same alliance that the Medes had of old to now, they all going to be in one accord to go against America. Really, it's these elites, they're trying to offset prophecies. All right? Or it could be that Russia is using the same tactics that America would be using, but to go up in there, like, look at this. It's a tactic. So Russia deployed airborne forces, all right, to Kazakhstan. And then They deployed Armenian forces. And who knows what other forces are going into that area. All right? This is a civil, they call it a civil coup, but really, it's Russia. The Lord putting the spirit on the Medes to strengthen its alliance. All right? Because that prophecy will come to pass. That hook going into that jaw to revert them back to that old USSR spirit is going to come to life. So that means these nations under Russia will be allied and strengthened again. All right? And that's the fear of the elites, and the fear of America. That's why they are on the border of, they're over there, talking about the border conflict, because they know damn well they're spying on Russia. All right, so we're going to start off with some precepts. I wanted to play video, but we'll just get right to the point. Because all of this, like rumors of wars and nation against nation, it's all, we all know at the end of the day, all these conflicts are going to lead to World War III. And a major player in World War III is going to be the Russians versus NATO. Versus America, of course. All right. And Iran in the midst. And Israel in the midst. And all the nations. And they're going to gather under either Russia, or they're going to side with NATO and the EU and America. So Isaiah 55:11. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. And we just, in Ezekiel 38, the word that went out of Yahweh Shai's mouth. Because really, it says from the first verse, and the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog in the land of Gog. So the Lord put the word in the mouth of the mouth of the prophet. All right. So this is the words of Yahweh Shai, and we're his mouth. All right, like it tells you in 2nd Ezra, 15th chapter. All right, so his word that went out to prophesy against the land of Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him, ain't going out void. And part of that prophecy, it says, I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaw, and I will bring thee forth in all that army. All that, it says, horses, horsemen, and all of them clothed with thee all sorts of armor, even a great company with buckler and with shield, and all of them handling swords. So the Lord's word is not going out void right now. As you can see, it's taking its course. It shall not return unto me void. All right, when Yahweh Shai issues orders, when he has his prophecies written, all right, they don't come back to him unfulfilled. He's the director. All right, he wants a scene. That scene is made. It's not cut. All right, and it shall come and it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. So one of the words of the Lord dealing with the Russia is that they will be back in the USSR spirit, and all of them that were formerly USSR will have that hook in their jaw. All right? They will turn back to that war spirit. join in with Russia, all right, that USSR, and it shall accomplish that which I please. Now, when you go into the word accomplish, it says I shall. All right, I shall. To produce, to work, act with effect. All right, to prepare. See, prepare. The prophecy is being prepared. All right. To attend, to put in order, to press, to be made, to execute. So that's what we're seeing. We're seeing the execution of Yahweh Shemel Shai's word. All right. Now let's go to. No, I'm not gonna get that precept. Let's get. Oh, I wanted to get this precept actually, Obadiah, because Ukraine is gonna deal treacherously with America. You know what? Speaking as a man, I believe that Russia will offer Ukraine some intel and business worth them trading back to that, USSR. All right. Either way, the Lord's going to have them convert back. So Obadiah 1:7, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. We're witnessing a prophecy, just one of them. I mean, one of them being fulfilled. Of course, a lot of these nations are turning on America, like China. They have brought American president over there, to their lands. South Korea. Come on. All the men of thy confederacy, those that you have made treaty with, missile treaty, now you sanction them. Why? Have brought thee even to the borders, to their own land. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee. All right, and prevail against thee. And I believe Ukraine will get one up on NATO and America. All right, they're all over there. They're actually in the border of fighting, helping to fight against Russia coming across the border. All right, they that ate thy bread have laid a wound under thee. And recently, this guy was saying that America have funded military weaponry in Ukraine. They have literally flown bombers next to the border of Russia with nuclear weapons in them bombers. All right? They that have ate that bread. So Ukraine is eating your bread right now. You're giving them money. You're giving them weaponry. Because you're trying to stop prophecy. All right? Because if you, that's why you, Esau, you damn devil, you try to overthrow Kazakhstan. Because you knew that Russia was going to take Ukraine with the force they're bringing. And now Russia is not trying to allow you to bring democracy and take over, use a coup to take over the government, so you could come close and make peace treaty and spy on Russia. All right, you ain't slick. They that ate thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. In Esau. See, they're about to leave. It's about to be a major wound. All right, because guess what? You ain't gonna be able to spy out Russia if Russia takes back Ukraine, which Ukraine, is part of that old USSR. All right, they're part of that Soviet Union. All right, they're not part of NATO. All right, so it will be taken back over. And they will deceive you, Esau. I'm looking for this other one. Hold on. You can't stop a prophecy. The Lord said He's going to put the hook into thy jaw. That same USSR spirit. Nuclear war spirit. And guess what? Ukraine was and is still part of the Soviet Union. All right? So let me see. Look for this scripture. Obadiah 1. Yeah, 1-7. Dealt treacherous. Yeah, Isaiah 33:1. It says, Isaiah 33:1, woe to thee that spoilest, and thou was not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, meaning very deceitful. Like when Esau, assassinate these government officials, and then start dealing with the country deceitfully, deal with the government deceitfully, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. And when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. All right? When you look and think all things sweet and good between you and that nation who you fucked over, it says, characterized by faithlessness or readiness to betray trust, deception, unreliable. All right? They're gonna, these nations that you have fucked over and you think it's all good now, all right, they're gonna betray you. They're gonna betray America, man. Then you got an article here going into U.S. That's the spirit. I want to do it. This is the spirit I'm doing the lesson around. U.S. believes Putin wants to restore Soviet Union. You damn right. All right, you devils know the prophecies. That's why you're trying so hard to stop it by trying to send in coup to overthrow Kazakhstan. This is like what is it called? Tactical warfare. Like, to try to disrupt Russia's plans. Distract them so you could get a leverage. But really, Esau is just falling into prophecies with all the actions he's doing. Because what's about to happen? You got Armenia going over there. You got forces going over there, pouring over there. And then when they realize that it all points back to America, they're going to be more hungry to take over the rest of these Soviet regions that you have made deals with. They're going to be more driven to unite. All right? It says U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has said that Russia is eyeing restoration of the Soviet Union. No, the Lord is putting that hook in his jaw. All right? The Lord is dragging that, pulling that war spirit upon the Medes. He's the one restoring the Soviet Union. All right? For them to destroy this place and to be destroyed, which is, in his opinion, unacceptable and should be addressed. What was the fall of the Roman Empire? The what do you call them? The Germanic tribes. All right, other Edomites coming against each other. All right, to overthrow a powerful empire. And that's what's happening right now. All right. The U.S. Secretary of State, Antony, it said is unacceptable and should be addressed. It says, who once said that the Russian President, Vladimir Putin, was driven by a desire to restore the old USSR. I think that's right. I think that, Isabi, that's one of the President Putin's objectives. It is to re-exert a sphere of influence over countries that previously were part of the Soviet Union. He went on to say that the U.S. considered such a wish unacceptable. And they're going to do everything to try to upset the prophecy. All right? And a recipe for instability. Meaning, when they say instability, meaning their democracy or their government that they have set up being cast out over there. No more influence, no more spying out the nations, no more, being a tyrant in another man's house. A recipe for conflict, a recipe that led to world wars. And this time it won't be no Cold War. It's going to be actual World War III. Ahead of this week, U.S.-Russia meeting in Geneva claimed that America's side was committed to do everything to resolve tensions over Ukraine in a peaceful manner, that any progress would only be possible. So the scripture says, interfere not in another man's business. All right? You're interfering in alliance. All right? Ukraine is like one of Russia's women. And Russia trying to get her back. But here is this fucking devil in the way, talking in the ear of Ukraine like, you don't need them. We can help you. We can do better for you. Being a damn nigga. He underlined that it is hard to see making actual progress. Because you can't stop prophecies. Right? The Lord's word is not going out void. It is taking place right now. The assembly of the USSR, the Soviet Union, is happening right now. All right? With a gun to Ukraine's head. And therefore, Russia should take steps to de-escalation. All right? And I believe that stunt that America pulled with Kazakhstan is only going to gonna spark the fighting flame even more. Alright? Because you just tried to take out you just try to overthrow a government. You don't think they're gonna be mad? We're committed to dialogue and diplomacy to see if we can resolve these challenges peacefully. That is far the preferable course. It's by the far the most responsible course. But equally, we are prepared to deal very resolutely with Russia if it chooses confrontation, if it chooses aggression. You know what is going to happen? America's going to get the fuck up out of there, and NATO might fall back, and Ukraine is going to get a spanking, speaking as a man, or Ukraine might surrender. And it says with Russia, if it chooses confrontation, if it chooses aggression, he said, insisting that the ball is now in Moscow's court. It says, in a bid to find a solution, blah, 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 Moscow has come forward with a proposal, and they're going to deal with you treacherously. All right? Russia's going to pretend that it's going to be all peaceful, that they're not going to do that, and they're going to do it. All right? And some of which have already been rejected by the U.S. and NATO, Washington, saying that the bloc would never agree to restrict its potential for expansion. All right? It says the upcoming meeting comes in growing tensions between Moscow and Western countries. You live on the Western side, and you in Eastern problems that have reportedly expressed their concern over Russia's alleged plan to invade Ukraine. And Russia vehemently denies and considers to be an example of hysteria. Well, this prophecy will come to pass. No matter what they do. Esau could send half the world over to the border of Ukraine to show their force against Russia, because they're really trying to stop the influence of Russia, because they know Russia seeks to be the new superpower, and now Russia has China and Iran, all these allies that are American. Number one American enemies on his side. So here we go. The prophecy that will come to pass. Ezekiel 38:1. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog in the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him. So we're supposed to prophesy, say before it happens what is going to happen to Russia and the rest of these nations. All right, scriptures talk about us prophesying against great kingdoms. All right, we don't have no favorites. This is fucking hell. I'm trying to see all my enemies go to war and die and shit. All right, and the Lord's prophesying against them, because he's telling them what will happen. They will submit to his will, and they will come up to battle. All right? And say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. You look that up? That's Russia. All right? Lord is against them. Them Edomite Russians. All right? And it says, I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaws. Alright? So, even if Russia wanted to fight against it, no, the Lord has them in the spirit of war. Ever since, even before the pandemic, they came out with Christmas carols about destroying America. Come on. Alright? The Lord's already turned them back and put hooks into thy jaws, when you have a hook into a creature, an animal, a fish, you control, you stare, you pull it back, you yank it. Alright, and the Lord is pulling them, is bringing them back to that old USSR, Soviet Union, cold, just ready to push missiles spirit. Alright, and I will bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen, and all of them clothed with all sorts of armor. So you see a lot of these armies, especially Russia army, moving. When an army is moving, it's what? Ready for war. It ain't moving to look good. No, it's ready for war. Even a great company with buckler and shield, and all of them handling swords, missiles. Right? And even then, America just brought nuclear weapons over there. Alright, billions of dollars, they just give it to Ukraine. Falling into prophecies. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya. Alright? The African nations. Alright, Persia. With them, all of them with shield and helmet. Ready for war. Gomer and all his bands. You got Turkey. The house of Togarmah of the northern quarters, so Armenia, and Azerbaijan, if I'm pronouncing that word correctly, and all his bands and many people with thee. So be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself. Be thou prepared. For a person to be prepared, you have to be what? Training together. Alright? And prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee. So they're going to have training. And I'm pretty sure they're all sharing military intel. They're all sharing information to each other. Alright? That are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. Unto who? Unto Russia. I mean, slip a word. Russia is going to be a guard unto Iran. Be thou a guard unto them. That them is Iran. Alright? Because the least of the flock, which is Israel, so I draw them out. Draw out this World War III. Draw out the Russians. Why? Because Israel has a plan. According to them, they have a strategy plan to pretty much go to war with Iran, to attack Iran. All right, so World War III is in the midst, man. The second war is past, World War II. And behold, the third war cometh quickly. Alright, the war for the world. Because in the midst of this World War III, not only deadly nuclear weapons, thermonuclear weapons will be used, missiles will be used, but Yahweh Shai is going to make his return. Alright, and he shall not meet thee as a man. He's gonna be in his extraterrestrial super immortal body, and he's fighting against mortal being. And this is what is going to happen. It's going to be easy work. And it says, verse 19, and I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse. He that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness doth he judge and make war. Alright, so that, Yahushua is coming to war. Alright. Revelations 12:7, and there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, Nadal. And the dragon fought with his angels in the EU and prevailed not. Neither was their place found anymore in heaven. Alright, they're going to be pulled out of rulership. Esau is going to be pulled out of rulership. Because once you destroy the army, like I've been saying, you pretty much won the kingdom. And that's what Yahushua is coming to do. But, just a quick update. You see the situation that's going on. They know what Putin is up to. They know they're trying to upset prophecies. And that's why they're sending billions of dollars to Ukraine, to the border, so Russia does not come up in there and take back pretty much Ukraine. And then you're seeing that America, this is why the nations are going to be angry with America, because every coup, every military coup not Salak, every assassination attempt or sedition or upwars, America is right in the midst, is mentioned, because they said that the men that they found had military experience. And I don't know if I could play this video, but here we go.
This was an attempted government coup. It is now obvious that all this was coordinated from a single point. There was a single contact point.
And that's why a lot of these Soviet Union is only going to strengthen their alliance. Because America is playing foul now. Trying to take over a government close to America so they could, to Russia so they could, have more influence or spy on Russia.
Because we saw that at the same time there were attacks against regional authorities, law enforcement agencies, detention centers, and strategic facilities, as well as television networks. All this was happening at the same time. They seized airports, blocked roads, prevented ambulances and firefighters from doing their work. There were also attacks against army bases. They were trying to get their hands on the weapons. There were battle scenes unfolding in a number of cities.
See, that's what America is known for. When you think of a government coup, you think of America. They're always the first to be mentioned. Now, they were saying that there was, they sent in troops for anti-terror attack operation, because they believe that there's terrorists or mercenaries or hired men to start this. Let's see. And then they send Armenia. So either way, Esau is trying to upset and stop prophecies. He's only going to fall into the hand of Yahweh Shem Shai. And Russia will revert. The allegiance of the Soviet Union will be strong. And they will go to war with America and they will launch some thermonuclear missiles over here. But Lord willing, this was edifying and to the point. Just a quick update. Giving all praises to Yahweh Shem Shai B'Hashem Haracha Hakudash, the honest to the apostles and elders of GMS. Shalom.